people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dare disturb the sound of silence. Hey, have you tried kettle and fire bone broth yet? No, really. You're going to want to do this. Just go over to kettleandfire.com. Just pop a beef broth in your cart, pop a chicken broth in your cart. Just start with a box of each. Just code BetterHumanhood at checkout. You'll get 10% off. When they come to you, you're going to divide each 16-ounce box up into 3 servings. They suggest, if you're new to bone broth, drink 4 ounces 3 times a week to get started. This will give you a 2-week head start. Okay. It's got collagen protein, it's got amino acids, and I got to tell you, it's delicious. These are organic, grass-fed beef or chicken bones. Beef in the beef broth, chicken in the chicken broth. They use organic veggies, organic herbs. Cook them for 10 plus hours. It'll help give you a little boost. Workout recovery. It'll help you recover from some injuries. It'll help with your intermittent fasting plan. It's keto friendly. It's paleo friendly. And you got nothing to lose trying it out. That's kettleandfire.com. Kettle like the big pot. Fire like the stuff you use to cook stuff in the big pot. Code BetterHumanhood at checkout for 10% off. Now, let's get on with the show.
Welcome to Better Humanhood, where we build a better world by building better people. We have to live on the planet, and we have to live with other people. We have conversations about making that a wonderful proposition.
Toward the end of a recent appearance in Duncan Trussell's podcast, Dr. Drew, you might have heard of him, notes that he needs to spend more time in his head. It got me thinking about silence. Now, meditation has been an on-again, off-again habit for me. It's on again right now. If you're curious, I use the Oak app, like oak, like the tree. It's for iPhone right now. They don't have an Android app yet. I am going to imagine that they're working on that. We've mentioned in episodes on happiness and episodes on patience that meditation helps with those. But that's where I get most of my silence. Another one of my favorite things to do is to visit my friends over at Remedy Float here in Savannah, climbing a float tank. You might have also heard of these things called sensory deprivation chambers. It's the same thing. Now, I know that some places have like these little pods. What Remedy Float has is a lightless, soundless room. It's about 4 or 5 feet across. I think about 4, because I can touch both walls of both my arms and my legs. 8 feet long, 7 feet tall. It's got 13 inches of water and 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts. You will definitely float. They heat the water to 94 degrees, which is roughly your skin temperature. So not only is it dark and quiet, but you really don't feel much in there, as the water is the same temperature as your skin. Depending on how long you go in, it's 60 to 90 minutes of about as quiet as you can get. And that is just a starting point, apparently. It's much longer in silence than that. When you get to about 2 hours, you actually start growing new neurons. Seriously. That's nuts, right? Like, if it's quiet for 2 hours, if you just sit in silence for a couple of hours, you might start growing new brain cells. Some people think with that discovery that silence might be a treatment for Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases. Related, in a study testing music in both musicians and non-musicians, rate of breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure all went down when there was a pause in the music. Now, musicians more easily sync their breathing to the rhythm of the music, but otherwise, the pauses in the music, the silent parts, were the bits that people, everybody, both musicians and non-musicians, were calmer during. Maybe that makes sense if you've got, a hard rock song, or, Beethoven's Ninth, or some other, rock and peace like that. But even during calming music, the silence is what's important. And silence isn't just for calm. It's during silence when we work things out. A couple of Australian scientists discovered that our brains are actually more active when we're not dealing with stimulus than when we are. The space between the stimuli, that's when we figure out what the stimuli mean. What they did to test this was just to blindfold people and do a little something to their fingers, whether they ran sandpaper over them or paper clips or just a little something. But it was after they stopped that the brain started going. Try to figure out what it was and what it meant. We're just starting over the past couple of years to understand the groupings of which neurons handle which stimuli. And working things out during periods without stimulus, that's the same reason we need to dream. We process what happens during the day and we learn from it. And there's so much noise around us, it's so hard to come by silence that over the past decade, Finland has made solitude an essential piece of its marketing to attract tourists. Now, not everyone meditates in silence, but meditation can, in fact, quiet our brains. As already mentioned today, in the past, meditation can help increase both happiness and patience. We also know that meditation can make for better sleep. It can help for self-relational feelings like personal empowerment, for staying in love. It can help improve learning. Silence adds to better focus, and there are a lot of other benefits as well. One of the benefits I want to discuss specifically is creativity, and we're going to have a series on creativity probably late September, early October. Don't hold me to that, but that's what it's looking like based on where I am right now in my research. Creativity isn't just about art or writing or comedy or podcasts. It's also about scientific and mathematic innovation. Creativity allows us to see where we can combine fields or jump a gap. Peter Gasca put it simply, if we are always focused on information input, it becomes even more difficult to force your brain to produce any output. In other words, if you have to process noise, if you're always listening to sounds or words or music coming in, it's hard for your brain to create output because it's busy processing the input. If you've ever heard the term content zombie, you know what I mean. These are people who read a lot, listen to a lot of podcasts, squeeze in some audiobooks, maybe they take some online courses, they watch videos, and then they just have all this information that they can spit back, but they don't understand how to apply it, and they never actually do anything with it. They never move any of that knowledge into wisdom, and they never really put anything into practice and move forward. There's so much input, they can't seem to create any output. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a ton of great content out there, and I'm putting a lot of it out myself. Right? I'm not calling my content great, but I think I'm getting better at it. Between this and JKWD, putting out 2 podcasts a week, I get a blog post every week, I get a newsletter every week, which, by the way, you can get a free ebook if you come sign up for that. You can do that at joshshear.com, betterhumanhood.com, and jkwdpodcast.com. But, I don't know what your podcast reader looks like. Obviously, if you're listening to this, there's at least one podcast that you're subscribed to. I'm subscribed to 30-something. Some of them come out very sporadically. Some of them I think have pretty much quit publishing, but I leave them in my feed just in case they decide to come back. There's a lot of content out there. If you've got a Netflix subscription and you can't figure out what to watch next, yep. But anyway, there's a lot of great content out there. We keep producing more. It's easier than ever to publish content in text, audio, video, or a combination of those. Also means it's really easy to consume them. So find your balance between consumption and production. Now, Thomas Oppong notes that collaboration can be important for some creatives. Think about how many musicians just wouldn't have made it anywhere without even just Quincy Jones as a collaborator. But at the same time, solitude allows us to get into flow, and we've discussed flow before. There'll be more coming on flow. But people like Einstein and Newton and a lot of other geniuses, or people who we consider geniuses, they worked almost entirely alone. Oppong also offers an important reminder: you can choose solitude. While you might be forced into collaborative situations at work, there are plenty of ways to get some silence in your day. You can get in early, you can find time before your family wakes up or after they go to sleep, turn off your phone, get away from anything that can give you a notification. In wrapping up, let me offer you 3 action items as a place to start. 1, download and start with a meditation app. You can use Oak, which is my app of choice. Use Calm. You can use Headspace. You can use Omvana. Dozens of apps available. Just pick one. You don't need 10 of them. Just pick one. Do 10 minutes every day for a week. If you have trouble finding the time and space in your house, grab some headphones and lock yourself in the bathroom for 10 minutes. I don't know what it's like at your house, but if I disappear onto the toilet for 10 minutes, nobody looks twice. 2, ditch your phone, even for 5 minutes. Turn it off, tuck it under your pillow, go sit on the deck, or the porch, or the balcony, or the toilet. Just shut your mouth. Don't scroll through anything. Just shh. Third thing you can do is block stuff out. I'm not saying you got to go get in a float tank for an hour, though I'm definitely not recommending that. It's great. I know it's not for everybody, but it's worth a shot. I use a sleep mask called a Mindfold. It's got foam that creates a space for your eyes, for your eye sockets. That way you don't get light coming up under the nose hole like you do in so many. You can get some earplugs. I got links. I'll have links to these over in the show notes. It'll be under $25 for both. You don't need to spend a fortune. Wear them for 5 to 10 minutes. Don't be scared of what runs through your mind. And if you don't need to be super vigilant while you sleep, I got a little baby, so I do need to be able to hear while I sleep. Put them in when you go to bed, ready for the darkest, quietest night you've had in your house. Once you start getting some silence in your life, you're going to be amazed as to what your brain starts producing. Thanks for listening. Be awesome. I want to hear what you're up to. Come by betterhumanhood.com. Come by joshshear.com. Let me know what you think. If you went to kettleandfire.com, stuck Better Humanhood for your discount code at checkout, 10% off. Be who you are. Be who you will to be. We will see you next time.
Thank you for listening. Get show notes and more at betterhumanhood.com. Leave us a rating and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And have yourself a wonderful day.